You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. Go. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Go. Don't waste no time.
OTAs have officially begun. We're in that awkward period between like genuine football, but it's not genuine football. Like teams are training, but they're gonna go away again before coming back and all that kind of stuff. And we kind of felt that now, no, I'm never gonna try that. I say we kind of felt that. I know that obviously we ride together, we die together, but we live to fight another day. And that's my phrase now.
Bro, you killing, bro. That is not the quote. You messed up two great quotes.
I know that's not the quote. And me being Kadeem, I am merging the two. So I've got one great thing, taking another great thing, and I made them into Kadeem mediocre thing. But everyone knows it's a Kadeem mediocre thing, and I'm okay with that. So yeah, this wasn't my idea. This was your idea, but it's a genuinely brilliant idea. And, you know, using this platform, using this, you know, these mics, these voices to talk about something that's really important, which doesn't get highlighted enough, it was a great idea. So this will be a bit different from our normal episodes, but if you've been with us long enough, you know that, you know, there's more to Go Time Dolphins than Dolphins. And I'm not talking about MMA or soccer or anything like that. You know, there are some genuine life issues that need to be discussed on this platform. And, you know, it's part of the reason why I love doing this with you, wouldn't do it with anyone else, because these things matter to not just you, but to me as well. But how are you?
Hey, I'm cooling, man. Florida sports is in a good place right now. We got the Florida Panthers in the playoffs. We got the Miami Heat in the playoffs. We got the Miami Dolphins about to go to the playoffs. I just need one of them to bring back a chip. And I would be satisfied for life if it was the Dolphins to bring back a chip. But it's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. I got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. And it is Mental Health Awareness Month here in the States. And we had an idea last year, I think it was, to have a CTE episode. But we're not doctors. We can't really go into depths on CTE, but I'm sure people heard of what CTE is. So we thought we'll just not use the whole episode, but we'll talk about it a little bit and highlight, you know, the realness of what some of these athletes do for our entertainment. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to just sweep anything under the rug like the NFL and not even address certain things. So it's the waiting for football season. And I felt like it was just to show our appreciation of, yo, there's people who sacrifice so much for us to enjoy football. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think they get enough credit. You know, after football, you have people, lives are different. You know what I'm saying? Post-football, these are football players. Post-football, lives are different. It's not the same no more. A gang of football players commit suicide after football. And I just think, you know, the severity of what takes place inside the game doesn't get talked about enough outside the game.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things where, yeah, I think even if this was like the middle of the season, as you'll see on Go Time Dolphins going forward, we're going to address these things more often, simply because, you know, the league does stuff around certain months. And, you know, we had a conversation off air about we need to do a better job of highlighting these issues. And yeah, this was an excellent one to start with, I guess.
You know, former Miami Dolphin quarterback, and it's cool that we Go Time Dolphins, so it fits the bill. Former Miami Dolphin quarterback Ryan Tannehill recently came out and said he was in a dark place after the playoff loss to the Bengals. You know, he terrible game, started second guessing things. Bengals defense ate him up. And he said it was recent when they were talking about the Malik Willis, and I'm not a mentor, and I don't think I'm supposed to mentor him and stuff, which was really blown out of proportion. All people got was the quote, but they didn't see the whole interview of what he said before and after that. So people ran with it. So Tannehill was also saying, like, yeah, man, I was in a dark place after that playoff game. I had to get therapy. Like, dude was doing therapy, couldn't sleep, literally couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, and was in a dark place, bro. And I think mental health, people, it's like a taboo subject. People don't want to talk about it because it may look like there's a weakness there, and people don't want to talk about quote unquote weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? So people are afraid to talk about mental health as if they're not strong, quote unquote, in certain areas, which I don't think is the truth. Because I think, you don't talk about it, like, how you ever gonna get help for it if you don't talk about it? You know what I'm saying? So that Tannehill recently coming out and being as candid as he was, a lot of athletes don't talk about it at all, like Tannehill did. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Tannehill. I don't want Tannehill to be my quarterback. I'm on the record saying that, but I don't want him to be like going through it mentally and thinking about crazy things that I wouldn't want people to think about. You know what I'm saying? So it's a sport, but at the same time, bro, when your livelihood is affected by it, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a little bit too far. You know what I'm saying? And everybody, he gets $20 million a year. He shouldn't be thinking about it and worried about it and all this other good stuff. That's not money. Money isn't the cure all. You know what I'm saying? Money is not the antidote. You feel me? So yeah, man, I think you got the movie Concussion, bro. Listen, excuse me, for everyone listening to Go Time Dolphins right now, there's a movie named Concussion starring Will Smith, and it highlights CTE and inside the game of football and the medical implications that football causes to these players that sacrifice their bodies for our entertainment. It is highly recommended from Charlie Touche. Charlie Touche highly recommends anybody who supports Go Time Dolphins to watch the movie Concussion, and you kind of get a new you just get insight of what is at stake for some of these football players. And I was on the record, bro. I said this before on this podcast. I like, man, listen, and I know it doesn't sound practical, but that's all right. I said, if we had to stop all the games, like remember when COVID almost took football out for like a year or whatever? If we had to stop 2 years and 2 seasons of football to figure out how we can improve in the concussion area and in the new helmet area, and in the, just making sure these 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds and even teenagers in high school aren't sacrificing their lives for our entertainment, I would be all for it. Like, listen, 2 years off, no football for 2 years. We got to figure this out. But there's no answer for it. That's not a guarantee. Just because we take these 2 years off, we still might not come up with an answer for it. So yeah, man, Concussion. I know Kadeem don't watch movies. All he does is watch anime. But I'm just saying, like, Concussion is the movie that I highly recommend.
Okay. Not only have I seen Concussion, I've read the book before the movie came out. So I know there's certain movies that I don't really rock with, but Concussion, 100% saw that the moment that came out in cinema. Me and a few friends went, or the theater. I don't know what. Yeah, Americans call it the theater, don't they?
Movie theater, yeah.
Yeah. So we've got the cinema, and then we've got the theater where we go to see like plays on stage and stuff like that. But no, so I've got no. I love reading. I read the book Concussion, brilliant story. Saw the movie. And what you said was quite a lot to unpack there. Like, first of all, in terms of like going to therapy and stuff like that. I was in therapy last year. I have no problem admitting that. I got to a stage where I was like, you know what, I need therapy. Had weekly sessions. I think I went for about 2 months. And at the end of it, my therapist was like, "We think you're doing okay now to come off it. But if you ever, want to talk to us again, you have our number, all that kind of stuff." So I think I'm doing okay now. But I didn't see it as a sign of weakness to turn around and say, "No, I, feel like I need a therapist." I think it's one of those things where you have no idea what someone else is going through. Um, like you said, that these players have X amount of millions, and people think that that makes them happy. It doesn't. You know, People turn around and say that money makes people happy. It helps because if you have money, you can do certain things that you can't do without money. But having millions upon millions of pounds doesn't mean you are, smiling 24/7 and stuff like that. So yeah, um, I have friends who have been in or go to therapy, and it's one of those things where when it comes, it's like when they say it, it's like we're glad, and if you want to talk to us as well, even better and stuff like that. So yeah, and even like I'm not saying that I am this amazing carefree person, but a few months ago I messaged you off air and I was like, are you okay? Because you don't seem happy, and you're like, yeah, I'm good, but thanks for checking in, and I kind of feel like enough people don't do that. Enough people don't take time out to say to their friends and their loved ones, "Are you okay?" And when I mean "Are you okay?" I don't mean like "Hi, you okay?" But then when they respond, you aren't actually listening. It's like a stop, like
Yeah.
"Are you okay?" And then if that person's not okay, that doesn't mean you have to sit. And I'm not telling anyone how to, be a good listener. But at the same time, sometimes be a listener. Don't try and solve people's problems. So heaven, no, anytime you hear a high paid athlete or actor or anyone come out and say, actually, do you know what? I see someone, they should be applauded. So that's the first thing. I think the second thing in terms of concussions, I don't know how much you want to speak on concussions in general, but it's something which so I got into the NFL. The first NFL draft I remember vividly staying up and watching was the 2014 draft. That was Johnny Manziel. We took Juwan James in the first round, Jarvis Landry in the second round, and that was the first. That was when I was fully locked in as an NFL fan. But there was a guy drafted in the third round. Don't know if you remember him, Chris Borland, linebacker.
I remember the name.
So he was drafted in the third round, I believe, by the 49ers. And so this is me. I'm getting to the NFL, still playing Madden heavily, playing Madden Ultimate Team. And Chris Borland was just like this really good Madden Ultimate Team card. So I was a Chris Borland fan because I used him on Ultimate Team. A year into his NFL career, the guy retired. He's like, I'm done. And he's like concussions. He was like, I think he suffered like one concussion in his rookie year. And he was like, I'm not doing that again. So he left the NFL after 1 year because he was like, concussions are a very serious thing. Or I think it was 1 year. If it wasn't 1 year, he wasn't in for years.
Yeah.
Let me double check that before someone turns around and says actually he played, 4 seasons. So he's 31 now. Yeah, played 1 year, and I remember because in that 1 year, he was good. Someone who looked like he was going to be a very promising player. He won Rookie of the Week 1 week, Defensive Rookie of the Month in November. Then he had an ankle injury, ruled him out for the rest of the season. And then in March 2015, he was like, I'm done. Said, head trauma. He was like, I'm not returning. And like the power it takes for someone who looks like he's going to have a very, very, very promising NFL career after 1 year to say, I'm not messing around with head injuries. I know that concussions and mental health don't really go hand in hand, but at the same time,
I think they actually do.
Yeah, I was going to say it's one of those things where before I pass it back to you, my sporting background is more of a political sports background, and people say 24/7 sports and politics don't mix. And it's like, what they do, like, can we not do this? They generally do, and there will be people that will say, well, mental health is over there, and concussions they're both to do with the head, but they're not. They're not intertwined, but they genuinely are. So, yeah, concussions are something which must be taken seriously. And I think it's a situation where the NFL was starting to make more or look into more ways of dealing with concussions. Have you seen the Guardian caps that people now train with?
Yeah.
So yeah, all yours.
So yeah, there's things that the NFL is trying to put in place, and gotta appreciate them. But I also think there's just it's like there's, and when you watch the movie Concussion, and we don't do movie spoilers here, but I'm gonna give you something from the movie. The doctor in Concussion breaks it down like, yo, humans are not supposed to be running into humans, you know what I'm saying, at a high rate. You know what I'm saying? And he also says a woodpecker, which I love woodpeckers, by the way. Did y'all have Woody Woodpecker?
Yeah.
In London? Y'all have Woody Woodpecker?
Again, like we aren't some like prehistoric country. We had cartoons and we had Woody Woodpecker.
Hey, y'all, I don't know. Y'all had Chili Willy?
Nah, that's
see what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm just saying. So Chili Willy came on before Woody Woodpecker. You know,
am I okay to Google Chili Willy?
Chili Willy. Matter of fact, Chili Willy was a penguin, like Waddle. There's a thing we could do here with Jalen Waddle and Chili Willy, and I like it. I need to figure it out, connect the dots. But in woodpeckers, which are just some of the dopest birds on the planet. If you just Google like fun facts about woodpeckers, it's one of the most amazing things you'll see. And basically, a woodpecker, everyone I would like to think knows what a woodpecker is, listening to Go Time Dolphins. And there's a mechanism that the woodpecker has to not endure basically head trauma. And their tongue wraps around their brain to protect it when it pecks wood. True story. Google it. You know what I'm saying? There is no mechanism that humans have to protect our brain from running into something. You know what I'm saying? So, man, before we get in, we're about to get into, current events and with all the new signings with the Dolphins and everything. We just really wanted to acknowledge Mental Health Awareness Month. Just how real concussions are, how real CTE is. Acknowledge that these boys are risking a lot to play football for our entertainment, and I never want to take that for granted. And I'll give you a real story real quick, man. Like, I'm huge on fantasy football, and I need everyone to catch this. If you're a fantasy football fan, super huge. I'm super huge on fantasy football. I mock draft in May. I'm running mocks in May. Like, hey, let me get a feel for this. You know what I'm saying? Then I might play, who knows, 8 or 9 different fantasy football leagues. I'm consumed in it in the football season. Then I gotta make a certain amount of trades just to cure my fantasy football fix. Like, hey, my team is good, but I got an itch and I want to start trading some people, right? So all the fantasy football heads, right? Imagine there's no fantasy football no more, right? If you're a real fantasy football fan, just think about this for a second. Imagine you had 15 years of fantasy football, the off season, the mock draft season, the drafts, the actual season where you get to trade and compete and win fantasy football leagues. And then 1 year is, hey, it's time to retire. You can't do this no more. No more mock drafts ever again. No more fantasy football leagues ever again. No more drafts ever again. And I said that about fantasy football, but there are real people, like athletes, that have to retire from these sports and never play ever again. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think the mentality is with someone who has played something from 4 years old, retires in their 30s, and now they can't do that one thing no more? Yo, it's not a smooth transition for a lot of these people. It's really not a smooth transition. Like, and I use fantasy football as an example because I think people can relate to something that they love to do. Whatever you love to do, and you can do it forever. Imagine you're not able to do it forever, and you have to find something else to do. And that's what these boys and girls in all types of sports go through when they retire from what we're talking about, football here. So it's a transition that people don't think about, and that falls under mental health.
Yeah, yeah, certainly. As you're talking, I really interrupted you. You look at Luke Kuechly retiring recently because of the concussions. They got too bad. It's one of those things where you can tough up. Like I'm genuinely shocked that Brandon Cook still plays NFL football because that guy suffers concussions like like they're headaches. It's mental how many concussions he gets, and like maybe I'm overblowing how many he's got in recent years. But I feel like at one point it was like he's getting two to three concussions every season. I'm surprised he's still able to play football. I living in the UK, soccer over here is looking at banning heading from basically up until like at the age of 16. So if you play like kids football, you can't head the ball because they're saying that as your brain's developing, the one thing you should not be doing is heading these level balls over and over again, especially in training.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things where I played in goal growing up, but I remember doing training, when I played on pitch sometimes, and there was, it'll be raining, the ball's wet, the ball is heavy, and you're getting these hard level balls. Someone throwing them up in the air, and these kids just jumping and heading the ball over and over again. And if your head hurts, doesn't matter, you go again. And they're saying we might need to stop that. It's concussions are something which not just across football, soccer, wrestling, the story, and I feel like it's one of those things where multi-million or multi-billion pound sports don't take concussions seriously because if your best players are missing game time due to concussions, the product on the field isn't the same, which means that people aren't watching. But it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, it's you're better off having a person miss 2 to 3 games due to concussion than retiring in the end of the season and never playing again. And that's me thinking with a commissioner. I want to keep the best guys out there. I don't care about their mental health. And you get in these situations where more and more players, when they reach their 40s, 50s, sometimes even earlier, just picking up dementia because the amount of brain trauma you see in to go back to wrestling, when Chris Benoit done those horrific scenes of what he done to his family,
Yeah.
and they looked at his brain, they was like, this is the brain of like a mid-aged boxer. How is this guy's brain so bad? And you heard of it's documented in concussion, but also former NFL players who end up committing suicide or something, again due to brain injuries and stuff like that. So it's scary. I've never suffered a concussion, as far as I know. I don't want to suffer a concussion, but mental health from concussions to speaking to therapists, you know, it's it shouldn't be taken lightly. The one good thing I'm watching Dolphins practices on Twitter, all that kind of stuff. Seeing these players wear those guardian caps, if it's league mandated or not, I'm just glad the Dolphins are doing something to at least try and mitigate, head injuries and stuff like that. Obviously, once the season starts, those caps are off. It's hell to leather, but at least during spring training, they're doing something.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Luke Kuechly, and we actually are going to start talking about Dolphins soon. But I don't know if, and I think a lot of people will remember this. There was an image where Luke Kuechly had a concussion, one of his last 2 seasons in the NFL, and everyone knew his concussion history. And the cart came out to get him, and he was sitting on the cart, and he was crying, like boo-hoo, tears streaming down his face, crying. And as a man, bro, it was tough to watch. Like, I don't want to see Luke Kuechly like this. You know what I'm saying? Not only do I not want to see him like this, I don't want him to risk his life and his body for my entertainment, knowing that this is the result. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. It's just crazy. And I was gonna bring up Luke Kuechly, so I'm glad you brought him up. He is an awesome analyst on ESPN now. Like, I had no idea, bro. I love football, and when Luke Kuechly talks defense, I'm like, yo, sign me up. I'll pay for this. I need a subscription. You feel me? So yeah, man, we just wanted to acknowledge Mental Health Awareness Month. I probably should flash some type of suicide prevention number on here, but we weren't that set up for that. But for real, man, it's real. CTE is real. Suicide prevention, all that stuff. Tell somebody you love them today. You know what I'm saying? even the encourager needs encouragement sometimes. So check on your strong friends too. But what you got, Kadeem? You want to talk about you got something else, or you want to go into what's going on with the Miami Dolphins?
I was just gonna say I'll leave. I'll find some suicide prevention numbers. I'll chuck them on the YouTube, on the iTunes, and Spotify, and stuff like that. And me and you laugh and we joke, we go back and forth all the time and stuff like that. But I know deep down that if I needed someone to talk to, I could be like, Charlie, like, I need, someone. And some of our conversations off air aren't nothing to do with football, just us talking about life, how we are as humans. We had that conversation months ago about being black men in modern society and the stuff that we've got to deal with and stuff like that. We talk, and I'm not making this a black or white thing. I generally am not. But again, it's like in the black community, turn around and saying that I suffer from mental health issues, be it depression or stuff like that. Again, you're seen as weak, and we need to get past that stigma. We need to be, we need to say as grown men, be it black, white, Asian, I don't care. Like, no, I'm not okay. Like, it's a saying, I don't know who started it, but it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to turn around to one of your friends, one of your closest boys, and say, listen, I need help. I need to sit down and get some stuff on my chest, because it's not healthy to keep everything, tucked inside. So yeah, I'll make sure to, be it suicide prevention or whatever numbers I can find, I'll leave them in the YouTube. And my DMs are always open if you need to chat about anything. I will never turn anyone away. So, or even the Go Time Dolphins email, I don't check it enough as I should, but the Go Time Dolphins email, my Twitter, wherever you need to find me, like, I'm there for you guys, man. Dolphins fan, Jets fan, Patriots fan, I don't care. Like, I've always got your back.
We appreciate you, Kadeem. Hey, you know what I thought? This was a thought I had maybe 10 years ago. I'm like, bro, so the NFL, they fine players for personal fouls. You know what I'm saying? Like 15-yard penalties, players get fined for that. Oh, personal foul, roughing the passer, they get fined for that. And I was thinking, where's this fine money go? You know what I'm saying? And turns out there's when a player gets fined, the NFL gives that fine money to charity of their choice, like the NFL's choice. So I'm like, you telling me when AB took that headshot from Vontaze Burfict, his fine money went somewhere? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like personal foul fines should go to the player that endured the personal foul. You know what I'm saying? You on mute. But like if I get hit and it's a personal foul on me, and you find this player $50,000, you should give it to the player who had to endure the personal foul. It's gonna benefit that player somehow, some way. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. Maybe I'm tripping, but I thought it was a good idea.
Oh, I was gonna say, people, again, there's no proof behind this or not, but people say that Vontaze Burfict hit to AB changed the guy's life. Like, AB was not the same, and that head injury was nasty. Yeah. That, like, I can't even call it a tackle. That hit, it's not even a hit. That violent assault was brutal, and people say that after that, something inside AB's head was like, nah, it's not
pre-Burfict hit, post-Burfict hit.
Yeah, like, again, and we can laugh about it now because AB kind of conducts himself like, and I think in that interview he done after he left the Bucks, and I think that it brought up and he's like, no, like, mentally I'm fine. It's like, mentally you're not fine, but again, it's like, sometimes he hasn't got to the stage yet. You talk about the kumbayas and stuff like that, but I don't think he's got to a stage yet where he can stop and say, you know what, mentally I'm not okay. But at the same time, it's not my place to turn around and say, Antonio Brown needs help. It's not my place to say. I can recommend it, but I can't make him do anything he doesn't want to do.
Kadeem, bro, I don't have a haircut right now, right? So I'm wearing this fresh Miami Dolphins hat. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. So I'm wearing this Miami Dolphin colored Miami Heat hat. And if I had my conductor's hat, my Chris Greer conductor, engineer, and the Chris Greer train hat, I would put it on right now. But I don't want everybody to see my hair. In my head, like Kadeem just advertised for us his head, but let's just say the Chris Greer train is running well, bro. The Miami Dolphins signed linebacker Melvin Ingram. What were your thoughts when you seen Melvin Ingram was signed by the Miami Dolphins finally?
It's one of those situations where, and I'm glad it said finally at the end, because they wanted him a good few years ago. He chose, I believe, to go to the Chiefs. He then went to the Steelers. He's now in Miami. I remember when we was rumored to have him a couple of months ago, and people were saying, his sack numbers are really, really bad. Why would Miami bring him in? But his pressures are insane, and it's one of those things where he's not going to be on the field 24/7. But when he's on the field, he's going to be a disruptive force, and you want to keep guys, keep them healthy. Is not the word. You want to keep them fresh. You want to keep the guys in the trenches fresh. So if you're taking out a Ogba, chucking an Ingram, that's amazing. If you're taking out a Phillips and chucking, like if you're rotating between those three and the other guys we've got, yeah, brilliant. I know there's a lot of people who said that 5 million could have gone towards JC Tretter or centre basically, but at the same time, you're improving the team. This isn't a move which makes the team worse. It makes the team better. Doesn't make it, where they're going to win 3 games better. Maybe not, but he'll be a difference maker in at least 1 game. And right now, in the middle of May, that's all you can really ask for with these pickups.
I think there's one more signing coming, whether it's a Tretter or a Hicks or someone else. I think there's one more signing coming, and not like a small $1 million signing. I think there's like a $5 million signing still out there available. Melvin Ingram is going to be a piece for the Miami Dolphins. The same way we kept Cam Wake around, knowing that he was towards the end of his career, and we only put him in on passing down situations. It's the same way Melvin Ingram is going to be used. He's going to come off the edge. He's going to be a rotational piece. He's going to split time. I don't even want to say split time. He's going to be a rotational piece with Agba and Phillips and Van Ginkel and Melvin Ingram coming off the edge. And when it's passing downs, we're going to get there. Dolphins are going to get home on passing downs. Get off the field on 3rd down. Bruh, I got shout out to my homeboy X. Bro, we used to live together. I don't know. I want to say like 8 years straight. We lived together. You know what I'm saying? And we watched Dolphin games. He'll always hear me say, "Get off the field. Get off the field. It's 3rd down. Get off the field." You know what I'm saying? And Dolphins can never get off the field on 3rd down, bro. With the way this offense will be ran, maybe I use ran on purpose, but the way that we're going to run this offense, we're going to have a lead to maintain in games, and the defense is so good that offenses are going to say, we can't run the ball like we want to run the ball on this offense, on this Dolphins defense. So in order to keep up with the Dolphins, you guys are going to have to take some risk. And then once you start taking risks, everybody knows our turnover ratio as a Miami Dolphin fan, and it's going to leave opportunities on the field for us to get turnovers, interceptions, sacks, strip sacks, get home to the quarterback, and get off the field on 3rd down. And that's what this signing of Melvin Ingram did. So I cannot wait to see Melvin Ingram in like a number 20-something at linebacker again. Maybe I think all the 20s are taken, but so he'll probably look like a linebacker number. But there's a clip. Since everybody wants to get all excited about Twitter and viral videos, there's a clip of Tua.
Dude, I've got a bunch of clips lined up. Literally, if you weren't going to go there, I was going to go there. So I'm glad you went there. So as you're talking, I'll get these clips up because they need to come up.
There's a clip of Tua throwing this bomb to Waddle. I want to be
That's the one I'm on right now.
I want to be very, very clear. For everybody that came at Tua's dome, which is not Tua's fault, it's practice. He could have been trying some stuff in practice and hung Tyreek Hill a little short on a deep ball. Okay, whatever. We don't know the circumstances. We don't know if that was the first ball of practice, the last ball of practice. You know what I'm saying? But I think the social media, again, I'll say this again, the social media person got a bad rap for that Tyreek Hill video. There's this video that Kadeem just pulled up. There's a deep ball that Tua Ningamano Olipola Tagovailoa throws to Waddle. In stride, good ball. Waddle catches this ball, and the DB is barely in the frame. I had to look at this video and like, hey, was there anybody on Waddle? You know what I'm saying? Like, was this like a live practice? Was the defense on the field when he threw this ball? And if you look at this video, there's a D line. Christian Wilkins gets close to Tua, too close for my liking. You know what I'm saying? He actually, like, Christian Wilkins actually has his hands up and swipes at the ball. That looked like a finger injury waiting to happen. I did not appreciate that from Christian Wilkins. But you know what I'm saying? So there's a rush, there's a D line, and then there's Waddle catching this ball with at least 7 yards in like radius of no one around him. And I'm like, yo, I gotta see who that DB was. And he's not even in the frame enough for us to figure out who got bombed that bad.
So I don't have my phone on me right now, but I can pretend to have a phone on me right now. But it's practice, and they didn't have pads on. And I'm like, shut up and get out of my face, man. I don't want to hear it. Listen, yes, there was one, underthrown pass, but again, I remember. I think the underthrown pass had something like 5 million views, and the New York Post wrote something, and all this kind of stuff. And then there's just crickets now. Anytime the Dolphins have a deep, there's a few of the Dolphins throwing deep passes, and it's just like, oh, but in practice it doesn't matter. But I thought it mattered before. So now it doesn't matter. Okay, cool. So we've had the Dolphins defense come out and say that the Dolphins offense is exciting. Like what was happening in training the last few years isn't what's happening this year, and that's great. And another one, this one's a bit shorter. And this is from someone who we thought might not even be a Dolphin come September. This one is to the Unicorn. It's a bit shorter, but the other thing I can notice as well, and it's like the other clip. You watch it and it's like, well, hold on, was there meant to be someone guarding him? Look at that. It's like there's no one there. Like I can even try and pause it. I think you can see 2 defensive players at one point.
It's and they're like 10 yards apart too. Hold on. All right. Hey, you know what? After further review, that may be Nick Needham. There's a 0 on this DB's jersey. You caught the pause real perfect, but you just played it. But anyway, there's a 0 on this DB's jersey that he's about 4 to 5 yards away from Preston Williams when he catches this ball.
The armband might give it away.
Nick Needham?
Possible, yeah.
Bro, so it's a jersey number with 0 as the second number, and he has an armband. I'm just saying we trying to put people on the scene. But yo, where are all the DBs at, bro?
And I think there's one more. I think this is something, and I don't want to show it because it looks like this is on a friend of the podcast, Javon Holland. But no people say things you love to see, yeah? Mm-hmm. Things you love to see. And things which we didn't see enough of over the past 2 years, yeah? Drop back to Mike Gesicki. Go and get that ball. Look at that. Give it to me. Holland tries to get there. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Yeah. I'm not checking anything right now, apart from my watch, because someone just messaged me. I'm not checking anything else. But yeah, and again, people say it's just practice. In the nicest way possible, over the past 2 years under Brian Flores, we weren't seeing these things. Like, we weren't seeing all the clips and stuff like that. So the one, I'm sure at some point there'll be another one of Tua throwing to Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill. Mm-hmm. We haven't got that quite yet. But at the same time, it's a matter of there's plenty of time. There's plenty of time. Hopefully, we see it in pre-season. Hopefully, I'm there in pre-season. You know, we might see that in bonus time, I guess. We also need to keep plugging the Waddle giveaway. Thanks for everyone who's been messaging us for the Waddle giveaway. We will get back to you in terms of, you know, at least acknowledging your answers and stuff like that. And there'll be some healthy numbers, so it should be good when we finally get around to giving that away.
Kadeem goes to the gym for 1 month and never wears a long sleeve sweater ever again on this episode.
Dude, it's hot.
Dog been in the gym 1 month and now he got the guns out every episode. You're a funny guy, Kadeem.
No, because it's actually hot in my room right now. It is. Oh, wow. So it's 23 degrees Celsius. What's that in Fahrenheit?
23 degrees Celsius is. Hold on, I'm doing this live times for everyone listening on audio. 46. I want to say 7, 15, 46, 7. Carry the 1. In your room?
In London in general. I can check what's in my room, but I'll have to get my phone.
I'm going to say 23. I want to say 78.
Google says 73. That's what Google says.
I was a little off, bro.
And I'm sure the people like the Americans like 73. That's nothing. For me in London,
bro, hold on. I was actually gonna bring the number down a little bit. I didn't trust my calculations, though. I'm disappointed in myself, dog. Dang.
23 degrees for me anyway. I find that too hot, so that's why I'm in a t-shirt. I'm not a fan. Again, I'm not a summer person, so if I do make it to the States in the summer, yeah, I'm gonna burn. Like I can't tan. I'll just be blick. That's
bro,
simple.
You're complaining about 73 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yes.
It's probably I haven't looked yet, but I could guarantee you it's like 85 degrees minimum right now outside. Hold on. 89. It's 89. Yeah. 89 degrees Fahrenheit, bro. Like,
do you have aircon on right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't have that.
Well, hey, whose fault is that?
Like, I'm not in the gym. In my gym, I've got aircon.
Hey, you know, so I dated this chick from England before, right? This is a few years ago. I dated a chick from England, and we were here in the States, and there's like these advertisements on the side of the road, and one of the ads say on a billboard, it's pretty big, and it says, "Your wife's hot. You should get the AC fix," because we call it AC.
That's bad.
So we call it AC. So she said, "Oh, that's funny." I'm like, "What's funny?" She said, "The advert said your wife's hot. You should get the aircon fixed." And that was my best accent. But
yeah, that was awful.
Your wife's hot. But yeah, y'all call it aircon. I think that's funny.
I can finally show you my gym if you want to see it.
What we got?
So this is, I say my gym, it's my parents' gym. Obviously, I'm back at home right now. So it's a matter of me being able to use these facilities. I would say free of charge, but you know, parents be parenting. As I try and get this photo up, there we go.
Shout out to Miles Gasson in front of the podcast. Miles Gasson said, "Yeah, man, it's always cool to go back to chill with the parents until they ask you to clean the bathroom."
Yeah, I'm not about that life at all. So this is what we have at the moment. You can see the aircon above the treadmill, the TV where I'm watching Go Time Dolphins or whatever other Dolphin show I want to watch. Got the free weights and stuff like that. I'm sure Charlie will be like, "Where's X machine?" all that kind of stuff. Listen, this is in our garage at home. And this is what I use, you know, just to get a little extra pump in after my PT sessions with my boy Devin.
I ain't gonna lie, I could get jiggy with that. I could get jiggy with, like, that's all you need. Like for real, because I see the curl bars over there too. You could really get jiggy with that. And then you could throw a couple bands from Amazon. You know the weight resistant bands.
Okay, so so where the water bottle is,
Yeah,
directly in front of that like little brown box and the black bags,
yeah.
resistant bands are in there.
See, like yeah, you that's bro, that's a whole membership right there. You can get jiggy with that. It's just about you got to have the willingness to keep going. Nah, that's what's up. Hey, we about to get into bonus time, man. Jalen Waddle jersey giveaway is still in effect, man. Y'all send y'all answers to gotimedolphins@gmail.com. What team did Jalen Waddle score his first touchdown against? And how many receptions did he end up with at the end of his rookie season? Those are the only two questions you have to answer. And for those who get the answers right, for those who get the answer right, both answers right, they will enter into basically a raffle of sorts, and we'll be very transparent. And someone's gonna win a Jalen Waddle jersey fit to size. So not only do you get this jersey, you get to tell us what size you wear, and we're gonna take care of you, courtesy of Share Ride Steve. We appreciate you, bro. Nonetheless, we gotta get you back on here on this podcast. We about to go into bonus time, man. So y'all know what time it is. Stay positive, test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time.
For the fans
Already.
and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time.
I don't like this t-shirt. It's too baggy. Like I'm like gunning, but like the guns aren't gunning right now because you can see the like. You know what I mean?
You need to say something else. For someone who don't like guns, you can't have guns, Kadeem.
Well, what? I didn't call them guns. That's what they're called, guns. Like, what should I call them?
For some reason, I think since you're in England, you should call them cannons.
That's even worse than a gun.
I'm just saying, like it's a cannon. The cannon. Steps back.
Yeah. I'll think of something. I'll certainly think of something.
Muskets.
I'm not that old though.
So the Dolphins got joint practices with the Bucks and the Eagles this year.
Might as well say it. I want to go to the Bucks game and for the joint practices. If I have it my way, I will probably do the Bucks game because it's closer to Orlando, as you told me.
Mm-hmm.
So I would fly in, I guess, a few days before the game, hit up a few joint practices, go to the game, and then go to Orlando, and then maybe, and I do mean maybe, fly to Miami for that second game. Is what, the Eagles?
Nah, is it the Eagles?
I'll double check. I think it's the Eagles.
Second preseason game, by the way, for clarification. We're talking about preseason. Preseason? We're talking about preseason.
So yeah, so I won't be in the States for any regular season games at the moment. That might change. Who knows what life is going to throw at me in 4 to 5 years. 4 to 5 years, 4 to 5 months, I should say. But at the moment, the plan is looking like hitting Tampa for the Bucks game on the 13th on the 13th, the Saturday. It's the Raiders. Oh,
that's what I thought it was Vegas.
So, shout out to Nick Kerr. Nick, in a recent video, said that he got 2 tickets for us to hit up that Raiders game with him and his wife. I could be very tempted to fly to Miami and hit up that game with you guys. I need to see how my holiday is going to plan out for. But at the moment, if I'm going to hit up one game, it will be the Bucks game just due to locality. And also because I don't like flying. So me flying like into Orlando to then fly to Miami. If I can avoid planes, that'd be amazing. You guys don't have an underground network like the UK does. Like, how long would are there any trains running from Orlando to Miami?
Yeah, they're above the ground though.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
How long will that take?
Hold on. So you telling me you don't like flying, but you're gonna fly 9 hours across the pond?
I've flown I've done Jamaica like 8 or 9 times.
All right.
But
So I'm saying if you're gonna fly 9 hours across the pond, you might as well fly that extra 30 minutes from Orlando to Miami.
no,
It's 30 minutes, Kadeem. By the time they take off, they're gonna say, "Bing, please get ready for arrival." You know what I'm saying? Like it's 30 minutes.
and how long is the train journey?
Maybe 3 hours.
I'm fine with that. I am genuinely fine with that. Give me a nice 3-hour train journey over a 30-minute flight.
How about this though? So if you do set it up and you do fly in on a certain day and you see Tampa or whatever, when you do come to from when you're done with Orlando and you come down to South Florida, I could just drive, and then you could ride shotgun the whole time, and you could have your seatbelt on and be afraid to fly, and I could just drive 3.5 hours.
I was gonna say, like, when you say in terms of like have my seatbelt on, I'm like this just because I don't know what you're like driving.
Bro, I'm a driver, bro. I drive everywhere. I drove all the way across this country, bro.
That doesn't make it a good thing. I'm a driver.
I do this like transporter. I'm the transporter, bro. Jason Statham. I drive. Ryan Gosling, driver.
Never seen it.
The Rock, Driven. I think it's the movie called Driven. Something
Never
like
seen
that.
it.
Something like that. Hey, Miami Dolphins had were in last place, ranked 32nd in pass block win rate when it came to their O-line last year. Yards per rush, 30th overall in yards per rush, 3.7. And average separation when it comes to receivers, 30th in the league when it came to separation, 3.1. None of them videos displayed on our so good defense had people in the picture. Obviously, those are the ones they're going to share. But, I think we're going to be all right this year.
What do you make of tweets coming out of Teron Armstead, spending more time with, I believe it was Robert Jones and Liam Eichenberg, just kind of going through some things?
That's why we brought him in the building. We didn't bring him in the building just to play left tackle. We brought him to be a mentor to others, a coach of the O-line. You know what I'm saying? An on-field coach, hands-on. You know what I'm saying? We paying you all this money for your services, not just to play football. So that's what I thought. I thought it was bigger news that Mike McDaniel said Raheem Mostert might not be ready for the beginning of the season. I thought that was huge news. And it didn't get enough traction, in my opinion.
Well, we discussed it with various people on this pod that maybe the Sony Michel pickup or all these running back pickups was because most of them might not be ready for week one. So they want to be, they want to at least be sure that they have enough running back week one, and then we kind of go from there, I guess. But it's not good.
It's not good, but I think we'll be all right.